let me set that on. Okay, we got it going. And I want to thank everyone for joining me today on this Saturday morning. Hopefully it's very pretty where you're at. It looks like the sun is trying to come out here, so I was happy to see that. And today we're going to go over some of the area director reports that you guys will be doing when you do the club visits, as you're doing them, scheduling them now. One thing I want to ask for the division directors and area directors to let us know if you have clubs that are not meeting currently, whether in person or online. I want to make sure that we support them, whatever they need. And if it's hesitation from technology or whatever the problems may be, maybe we can talk to them, their president or their officers, and see what we can do to support them, because I do not see this going away anytime soon. And I think you guys agree that this is kind of how we're going to have to go about meetings for some time. And if you have any questions while I'm going through any of this, feel free to ask them, or you can put them in the chat and I will address them at the end of the training. For your area director's report, I've already received a couple in Toastmasters International. So thank you for those area directors that have already completed and submitted theirs. One of the things that I'm noticing is the area director visit reports still are geared for more in-person meetings. So you kind of have to add some items or some comments in there about the online part of it. You know, if they don't have guests when you guys go to visit them, ask them how they handle guests when they get them, because we definitely want to encourage the clubs to continue to get new members and to grow them. And I'm working through the same thing with my home club now, some of the updates for the documents and how to go about handling new members. So we're definitely doing some things, and I'm going to get some different items out to you guys over the next week of things to look for. One thing I want to encourage you to do before you do your club visit, go to the club's website if they have a local, if they have their own club website. See what the contact information is on it. See what their meeting notices, you know, if they're advertising their meetings properly. If they are online, do they have a contact to get the link for the meeting if they're doing it in Zoom? I wouldn't suggest putting the Zoom link on their page. I would suggest a contact, because you don't want anybody just joining in without them being aware of them coming in to join you. So also go to Toastmasters International and see if you can contact them via that way. That way you will know if their club contact information is up to date, and if there's anything else that you need to do to get in touch with them. Now I'm gonna see if I can share the screen. And
can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
When I go to the Toastmaster website, trying to look for the contact information for the club that in my area, not just that, I seems to have a difficult time in trying to locate that. You can look everything with the club that you belong to, but for the other club, even it's in my area, I was having hard time be able to look for all those
Did you do the find a club and do the area?
I go, yeah, to the district you know, district leadership.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me see if I can get over.
I was, if you can, maybe when you have a chance, share screen and show it to me, because I spent a lot of time and couldn't find it.
Okay.
While you're looking for that, Monica, I just want to applaud. I see Charles McCauley's on this morning. He has had some, good morning, Charles. He has had some challenges reaching out to clubs in his area, but, and he can share with you, it ended up being a success story. He was persistent about it.
Okay, that sounds good. We can use that.
You know what, can I chime in?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I did, like you said, Monica. I went to their to their toast. There's a certain club in my area that they're not meeting now. And I went to their Toast site, and I was able to look at names from the previous year,
Right.
the previous couple of years, and email addresses. But I got to talk about our club. I'm like, when you want to talk, and
Yeah, if they have a resource.
I have it. Websites, I've gone and looked at some of them. Hold on just a minute. Let me.
You do leadership central and district, and mention on your contact information.
Hold on. Everything's right now.
Oh, yeah, you can use that to find your contact information.
Yes.
I see what you're talking about now.
Okay, and it's going to search in again.
I know what you're talking about. If you go there.
If you're trying to find the specific contact information for the members of your club under leadership, you can go to reports, and you can see all the executive members and all the members from each of your clubs.
In your
Correct.
I didn't see it. Okay, leadership, and then you go to where? I can only find the club I belong to, but not the club I don't.
Now,
Okay.
if you go to district central.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that you guys show me those having hard. There's a report, but the report didn't give me the contact.
This is really slow today. I'm trying about to.
And James, can you share your screen?
Sure. Do I have access?
I think
Yeah, you should be able to share screen.
should be able to.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
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 Right. So under Leadership Central, District Central brings you this page. Under Reports, you have a list of reports. Under Area Club Officer Report, this gives you a list of all the officers. The other report gives you every single member in your clubs in your area. If I click on, yeah, so if I export it,
the reason I wanted you to use Find a Club, though, I wanted you to try to reach out to the club that way and see if their information is current and correct, and they're responding.
Yeah.
To you.
That's right. If it's not correct, you can tell them to update.
Well, they might not be aware of it, or sometimes they don't think about that when they change officers each year.
Right. That's a good place.
And I make sure in our club we have generic information, so we have a generic email, so it automatically transfers over to the other officers.
Okay.
so from my standpoint, it looks like that caused an error on the server side.
District Central. Somehow
But,
I don't see the report.
well, yeah, well, here, it worked this time.
Okay.
And the report has,
Yeah, I saw this
All-
report.
yeah, so it has, for a given club, it has their name, their email address, phone number.
I don't showing my face.
You said the name of all their officers or some? Everybody's name?
Yes, everybody that is listed as an officer should be in there.
Yeah.
Under your area.
So for your area, so if you can still see my screen, it shows for this club, here's their position.
Very good.
And I know one of the clubs in the area, their information is not up to date because we have a member that we had a person come to our club and they wanted a different club, and we've been trying to get in touch with that club. My VPE told me this morning they haven't heard back from them. So I was going to reach out to them later today.
Wow, that's great information to know. And all of us just work together to make sure that we do make contact.
Yeah, I'm trying to look because I don't understand why I
We'll
couldn't.
take it off. Carolyn, I can contact you and do some work.
That's fine. That's fine. I understand. Don't worry about me. I'm just.
That was an excellent visual, though. Did James sharing his screen help you, Carol?
Oh, there we go.
All right. No, that's not right. Why? Wrong screen. Try again. Hey, are you seeing the area director club visit report right now?
Black screen. There we go. Yes,
There you
yes.
go.
Okay. All right, let me get this out of the way. Oh, how did I do? Hold on. Okay. Now, this is the report you'll see come up in Toastmasters website when you go to do your report online. And like I said, there's been a couple already submitted, but you will be able to print this. You can print this out and have it with you during your visit so you can fill it in, because what I suggest is you fill in all the blocks before you have to do it into Toastmasters site, get it all filled out, and then when you start going down through there, you can either do a copy paste if you've done it on your computer, or you'll have it all readily there because it'll have a certain time frame that it lets you enter all that in without having to redo it. So you definitely want to have all the information there so that it doesn't time out on you. And as you go through your different areas of the visit, like a lot of these, like first impressions, even though you're not in the meeting, you still have a first impression of like their screen presence or their welcoming when you come on the screen, when you first sign in, whether it's Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Facebook, however their meetings, bless you. So just be aware of that. And you can also tell if they're having the way they welcome their guests. You can definitely fill that out. And as you go down through different parts of it where it references more in person, kind of translate into your online areas, you know, definitely try to see how you can help the club improve. If they need, like we're setting up a couple of members in my personal club to do helping with technology issues. So if people sign on and they don't know where a lot of the tools are, then these people can kind of work with them in the background and help them with any sign-on issues they have or any other logistics issues they have. We will be doing some more Zoom training within the district to try to help clubs overcome that fear of speaking on a screen, because it is different to do it online versus an in-person speech. And that's one of the things I think that a lot of people are still not comfortable with as far as signing up for those speeches and getting those paths really working them. So if you sense that with the members, or if they actually tell you that, you know, reach out to us or your division directors, and they can help you also with getting the clubs what they need to feel more comfortable with whatever environment they're in. Now, I do have one club in Division A that is meeting in person again. That's the only one so far that I'm aware of. If you guys have any of those, you know, you can let us know, and that way we can tell people, you know, if you want to meet in person, this club is actually meeting in person. Of course, they're obeying all the requirements that are needed for them, but they are meeting. And so as you go through this report, and if you don't have this already, I can send it out to everyone. It's on Toastmasters International. You can just type in 1471 and it'll be the area director's report. And this way you can put the information in there, and we do review all the reports that come in. We want to see what areas of improvement the clubs need, what we can help them with, how we can make their meetings better. And the same goes for you as division and area directors. You know, if you need resources or you need additional information, please feel free to reach out to us. And as you go through and review all this, we are going to have a challenge for moments of truth. And I know a lot of clubs have done moments of truth before, but I would encourage you as area directors maybe to participate with them if you can, and see what information they have come out of that as well. And is there anything in particular within the report that you want to review? I know we have several clubs that have no officers trained, and we want to reach out to those and definitely try to get those club, at least officers trained, because that'll help strengthen their club. And we want to really start working with the clubs on their, we've got our success plans that they're putting in right now, and they're really reviewing that. Maybe you could review that with them, encourage them to send it to you, and maybe go over that with them when you're at your visit. And that's one of the
Monica, are you sending out that list of the clubs who have no club officers trained to the area directors?
Yes, I have, but I can send it again.
Thank you.
I have it updated to the last session's train. Now, there is additional training options that I have out on the district website. If your members have, your officers in your clubs have not been trained, there are still training opportunities between now and the end of the month to get them trained through online training. They don't have to go anywhere. All they have to do is sign up for it, go online, let me know, and I'll make sure they get credited for that. And let's see, I think I had...
Monica, this is James.
Yes.
I've got two questions. First one is about the club visit reports. A lot of the questions are yes, no questions. How do you answer it if you don't have a yes or a no? Would you want us to leave it blank?
I guess maybe give me an example. I'm not sure of why you wouldn't have either a yes or a no, or you can elaborate in the blocks that they have. Let me get back over there.
Okay. So some of them say, do they welcome each guest? And I know you said you can ask them if they welcome each guest, but that really doesn't tell you if they do or don't.
That's true. And
So,
if you don't have any guests in that meeting, you won't be able to fully assess that, but you can find out if they have something in place to welcome the guest. So, like if the guest warmly welcome, well, you would be a guest. So I would hope they would warmly welcome you.
Okay.
Can I say something about his question real quick?
Sure.
Okay. He did also ask if we can leave it blank. You cannot, the report will not submit if you leave it blank. You do have to answer every single question.
And if you have nothing there to put in there, you can always do NA, but that's going to drive some questions, because when I see that, I might have some further questions for you. And so just be aware that we do look at them, and we want to use these as tools to help your areas and your clubs to get stronger.
Okay. So if you have to answer every question, then it makes it a little difficult if you don't know the answer. And you hate to say one way or another in case you don't. So it sounds like you need to find out every answer.
James, this is Ron Hickson. I traditionally would send the report to the president and say, hey, anything I'm missing, can you give me some updates before I forward this, for submission?
Great idea.
Okay.
Something else, Monica mentioned printing this out and having a hard copy. I know that's very old fashioned, but you know what? I've heard a lot of area directors say when they're online trying to submit this, they filled everything out, they go to submit it, and they lose the entire thing. And so then you have to start over, and it's kind of a pain, but the good thing is, if you have this as a hard copy in front of you, that makes filling out those blocks so much easier. So I really, really highly recommend a hard copy. And Ron has a great idea. Send it to them once you filled in your part or before you do, so that they'll have an opportunity to have buy-in to this as well. We're all teaming up to help the club.
I think it's there's another way is you send the things to them, they fill it out and fill it with their pen, and just ask them to take a picture from their cell phone and send to you, instead of worrying about scanning or all those process. And then you have the information, you can fill it out for them to review. So.
And you can always save it to your desktop as their club name. and then go back to it and do copy and paste that way if you're
Right.
more comfortable working online. I know a lot of times during the meeting, though, it's hard to juggle the online part with the meeting part and then, you know,
Yeah.
get the stuff done that you need to get done. So just be aware of that. And this is the club officer
Right.
list for the training that I sent out, and I'll send it out again to all the division and area directors. And as you can see, we have a wide range of different training. Some have 7 officers trained, some have 0 trained. And this will help you as you go on to your visits to find out, you know, why are we not getting the officers trained? Did we had plenty of sessions, I thought, and there's still opportunities out there. But as you can see, we have a large part that just has 0, 1, 2, 3. So,
Hey, Monica,
mhm.
can I say one of the reasons why some of the officers weren't trained is because some of them thought that when they went to the training in February earlier this year, they thought that that was enough. And then there was one club I went to, and one guy said he's been sergeant at arms for over a year and he didn't think he needed any training.
Oh.
And I'm thinking a lot of them have a misconception about how this is like an easy point towards the DCP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and make sure division directors, area directors, especially as you're meeting with your club presidents, make sure they're aware of the training requirements. We have more than one every year. You usually have one at the start of the year and then halfway through the year because of the clubs that have the 6-month requirement. And also, it doesn't hurt for them to brush up on some of those skills or gain some new skills. And maybe the second half of the training, they want to look to another office that they might be interested in learning some skill sets on. And I definitely want to know, you know, if they're not training at all, then is it, you know, you can ask them during your visit, was it the available times or dates? Because we tried to go across different times, different days, you know, offer some even, you know, outside of our district. There's plenty of opportunities. It's just, you know, you have to, and especially for that, you'll have to take the initiative and find the information. We've got the links out there. You just have to go on and sign up so you get the contact information to sign in with. But I'll send this out to everyone and you can take a look at it as you do your club visits, and then, you know, reach out back out to us if they need additional tools or training. Division directors, I don't know if maybe you want to team up with your area directors and do a training session. If you do, please let me know and I'll make sure you get all the tools or information you need so that we can get this done correctly and they have the tools they need to be successful. And that's always an option if you want to get more of your officers trained within that area.
Monica,
this is
Okay.
Yeah.
this is James.
Okay, James, go
I've
ahead.
got one more question. When contacting the club and specifically about training, should we be only contacting the president or should we be contacting all of the officers? I guess that's where I'm kind of unclear on who we should be contacting. And
I give it to the president and let them flow it down as they see is needed. Now, that's just me personally because they're the person that the club looks to for information, and they can disseminate it down to their club as they see fit. Or if they choose, they can let you know and just send it to all their officers. You know, I would give them that option if they wanted it.
So the makeup training has to be, they have to turn in and request for it. Is there any online self-training material that they can just do it and get credit? No, okay.
No.
Actually, that will be something to think about in the future. If they can go online, if there's a material available for self-training and then they give them some tests, you know, like 10 questions to see if they can answer those questions. If they can, then they pass, then it's trained. That will save a lot of time.
That's going to be up to international, I think.
Yeah, I know.
think they are reviewing the online protocols across the board for everything. So you know, our feedback to them is, you know, we can run that up through them and let them know that that's an
Yeah.
area that there's an option, maybe additional training option there. But I know I really want to keep it at least some kind of interaction with the clubs, because especially during this time where we're more not isolated, but it has been more of along the quarantine lines, and engaging them and making sure they know they have that support there. And if you do it strictly online, you kind of lose some of that personal interaction.
Yeah, I understand.
And I see Tracy's comment about offering the to division and areas. You know, Tracy, no matter what, if you offer it, even if one person shows up, that might be that one person that really needed it. So if you feel like it's going to benefit your area or your division, I encourage you to do that. You know, I'll be more than willing to try to support if I can, if you want the help. And I know there's other members that can also offer that too if you need it. And if you just go to the district website, we've tried to put everything under one consolidated area for people to look at. And I know I enjoy visiting other divisions, other districts, because I always learn something when I go to a different district. It's very interesting to see how they do things different than us and how they look at things sometimes. So if you want to visit other districts, now is a great time to do that, because we're all mostly online right now. So, you know, definitely reach out to them and they'll send you the information. I've not found one yet that didn't send me the link to join. So if you guys, do you have anything else as far as the area directors reports?
Yeah.
I know when you go to do your reports, and it's human nature, procrastination is just a fact of life. But I will encourage you not to wait till the last couple of days to get these reports in, because Toastmasters International starts getting jammed up and you can't hardly, it takes forever to get the reports in, or the system crashes because there's too many on it. So it's like everybody's trying to do things at the last minute. And if you were doing like putting your officer list in at the end of June, you probably experienced a lot of that slowdown because everybody was waiting until the last minute, it seemed like, to get a lot of information in at one time. So it definitely slows the system down. And you never know. Hopefully they won't do any pathways updates at that time, and they're good about letting us know. But just be aware of that they can do it at any given meeting or weekend, do an update for pathways, seems like. But usually they do tell you ahead of time. And I know we've had some questions about like online meeting and getting new members involved. And I think we'll be doing some training sessions on that in the next couple of months. I have several training sessions set up. I sent you the list of upcoming training sessions for area directors, division directors, and also members for the district as a whole. I will continue to add to that. I need to update it. I do have an outside Toastmaster coming in for a training for online presenting in September. Roger Fung, who did our training at the TLI on June the 27th, he is going to come back and do a 2-hour session for online presenting, how to do the cameras, how to do your lights, how things to do when you're online, what not to do. So I think he had a huge success during that time, and we're going to get him on here again. And Peggy Hill is also going to do one for us for storytelling, and I'm really looking forward to that also. So the links will be going out, and we'll have it on the district website. So be looking for those, and I will get them to you also once we have all the Zoom meetings set up for them. For the area and division director, I'm using my personal account for those. It's easier to control. And so that Zoom link will be coming from me for any meetings that we have. So just be aware that it won't be coming from the district. And let's see, Jessica has put a link in the chat if you want to take a look. That is the information for the different training that is still available around the world. Some of these are not even in the United States. So just take a look at those. And if you want to attend additional training, it's totally up to you. This is where you can encourage the officers that haven't been trained to go and get their training. And Wanda, there was the team agreement you were talking about. I've looked for it. I have not found it. Were you able to find that?
Yes, it's in area division training. It's entitled Building a Successful Team.
Okay. I will get that out to everyone.
And this will be beneficial as you develop your councils, your area council and your division council. Team agreements. We agree to contact one another, you know, as our first line resource if you need anything. You know, because as you don't want to go to your district officer when you have your area directors and your division directors, and they're there to help you. So just being able to navigate that, little things like that.
And I know one of the things we're using this year, and I see a lot of you on there because I've seen some interaction, is GroupMe, GroupMe. And I'll put it in the chat. We're using that to help facilitate communication without all the emails. And it's a little quicker. We can put Zoom links in there. I saw where Ron had done some this morning. We have one set up for division directors and then for area directors and then as the district officers as a whole. So if you're not currently utilizing that, I would encourage you to take a look at that. You should have gotten an invite. And if you haven't responded, it'll tell us that so-and-so has not responded to the invitation. So if you're not getting those notices, it could be you just missed maybe the response time of it and we need to resend it to you. And just let us know if that is something. I know Tracy had contacted me earlier today in there. So it's a quick way to get in touch with us without having to go through emails or call or text, because a lot of times we get overwhelmed with communication a lot and sometimes not enough. So just be aware that that's another tool that you guys can use for getting in touch with each other and the district officers as well. Now, how are your council meetings going? Your division council and your area council? Have you been able to do any of those? Yes, Ron.
Can I add, if you're not receiving the GroupMe, send us a note. Maybe we have your phone number wrong from the contact list off of TI. Just let us know and we'll make sure to get it corrected and add you in there. That's all I have, Monica. Sorry about that.
And make sure your contact information through TI is up to date, because we'll pull those lists from there, and that's how we set up the emails that we send out to you. So if you're not getting them, it's either a wrong email or it could be going into your spam folder. We've had several we've had to say, go look to see if it's dropping it into a folder that maybe it thinks we're trying to bombard you with garbage or something.
Real quick, Monica, how many of you have received your name tags?
I have not.
Okay.
I don't think I have received.
I have.
Very good. Okay. I know we're not meeting in person right now, but that was an executive decision to send those to you. We're not meeting in person, but we want you to know that we're still here and we support you. So what better way to do that than reach out, send it snail mail. If you haven't gotten it, you should be getting it very soon. It'll come to you and it's in a kind of a yellow large envelope. So look for that, okay?
That would be nice to wear it when you do the club visit, even if it's on Zoom.
Absolutely. And I do have yours, Carolyn, and it will be coming to you very shortly. Look forward to that.
Thank you.
I have a question. Excuse me, this is Tracy. I did get mine. Actually, I got mine for Division D as well as Division E because there was that mistake. But I got my right one. But I wonder, is there a way, because the designation, the MS1, which is what I was when I signed up, I mean, is there a way for future ones to have it not permanent so you can update it as you go on your badge?
There's a process to that. I submitted our names with whatever educational affiliation that you gave me, and they came back and told me that some of those characters, okay, your badge is a set fee, in that, you get 25 custom items. And so I had to approve them in order for them to do them. So that's kind of Toastmasters International. One of the things that, and I know you can also put some tape over that and change it. I know, yeah, I did that last year with mine. Just a suggestion, because they have a process way that they do them. And yeah, and so it has to meet their speculations. Just do them, because we want to make sure that your name is spelled correctly and that you are, the affiliation on there is correct to your division or your
you got to make a decision and do it at some point, but you answered my question, so thank you.
A real quick question also, how many of you have done Concur training? I do want to say to you that that training is comes from Toastmasters International, and there is no volume. So if you think you had an error as you were doing it and there wasn't any volume, that is the way it was recorded. Can you see my screen? On my screen, I have the Concur login. Notice it's my member number at toastmasters.org. So once you've completed the training, you can go ahead and log in, use your member number. Notice now it's 8 letters. If your member number is 6 or 7 or whatever, you just have to add zeros to it, in front of it, to make it 8 numbers at toastmasters.org. And that's how you get in. Once you get in, there's quite, you've connected it to your checking account. I tell you that because I noticed that we've had people that prefer not to do that, and that's okay. If you've had some, theft, identity, or some other issues with your checking account, I can see that and understand that. What we did was but if you have an issue, just let us know and we'll work with you. And it was optional for the area directors. I say that because we don't want to put a lot on you, but if you choose to do the Concur training, absolutely do it. When I submitted names, I submitted every one of your names. And so you've already been approved. So it's just a matter of some feedback from some people. And that's why I wanted to let you know it's your member number and it has to be 8 characters. Any questions about that?
Silent group of Toastmasters. That's unusual. All right. Do we have anything else? I know the incentives.
Wanda, I went on to Toastmasters International and went through that training, but I did not see any place that told me how to get
Me
that screen that you just had.
Concur.
Yes.
Concur login.
It did not tell you how to get there. I went through all the training, but it didn't tell you how to get to
Exactly my problem.
Concur login. Let me see if I can just stop sharing this, get out of this, and go into a search.
I think you can just go to concur.com and log in.
There's a Concur Solutions.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Concur
it.
Solutions.
And you should put the screen.
Yep. That'll get you there. I just tried it myself.
There's also an app too that you can download if you want to do it.
Yes.
That was just something that I experienced, and I looked and looked and looked. I went back and forth through the pages. I saw the
Always
screens
reach out, Jim.
how to put in the
Reach out.
information. What's that?
Reach out. That's why we're here.
Well, I don't really.
It's not a bother.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
never
Well,
a bother.
I didn't really have a need to.
Okay. Are there any other questions about the area director reports or anything else we covered today?
Monica, you're cutting in and out.
Let me switch over to my phone.
The choice of technology.
Oh, yes. I just want to thank you all. I'm very pleased with our team. We're working very well together, and we are setting ourselves up for success.
Wanda, can I add something?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Ron.
So everyone, you should see the incentives come out this week. We're working on those to finalize those now. Sorry for the delay. We were kind of waiting on our budget to be approved, but you'll see those through the flyers, and you will see the file. So Jessica will release that. Thank you.
Peggy just asked a question about the area director report. And yes, there will be some subdivisions, some updates to that. We noticed that there are some educational designations in there from the traditional program. And so look for, it's Toastmasters International, it's a global entity, so it won't happen that behind the scenes. So just be patient with us. I thank you for all of you who mentioned that there were some errors with your clubs, with the alignment, and we went back and looked at that, talked with district, and they submitted it, said just resubmit it. And so when you bring things to our attention, I say, but we are working it behind the scene. And so, you know, they're working with us. Have you gotten switched over, Monica? Charles?
Yes, I think I am. I see his question
Okay, good.
in the chat. And yes, Charles, I would suggest you do it every time, because each time could be something different come up or something different you observe. You can also see historically if things have changed when you do the visit. Another thing while you're visiting with your clubs, and I know we're trying to get that done this week, was for the proxy. So if you have any immediate club visits like this week, just remind them about their proxies. I think clubs are working those diligently, but some of them of what to do. So definitely take a look at that, because that's going to help us to do the voting. We have been interviewing the candidates over the last month or so and asking a lot of questions, trying to see how they can help with our future, not only as our district, but Toastmasters as a whole, you know, what their thoughts are, what their visions are. And, you know, if you guys have any questions that we haven't answered or additional questions, please let us know, and we'll definitely go figure it out or get the answers to it. And if you have any additional training above and beyond what I've already sent out that you'd like to see, also let me know. We will find the resources or the training to make your club stronger, to make you stronger as a leader. We want to make sure that you get that training. I want to thank everybody for calling in today and supporting us and getting your training as well. And if you have questions as we go along, please feel free to reach out to me or Wanda. Or anybody have anything else?
This is a very, very successful meeting. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
And if you guys need to reach out and we do like a Zoom one-on-one to walk you through like where reports are or where information's at, if I don't know, I will go figure it out or I will find the answer. But I'm not going to say I know everything, because I don't. I'm still learning.
Monica,
just like you guys are.
Great
yes, ma'am.
lead in. I wanted to share with them how to get to the, let's see if I can do that real quick. How to get to the, what's needed in your district, in your area. Just
on the
in
dashboard?
case. Yes. Can you do that? Or?
Let me see if my computer will cooperate.
Well, let's see. I might be able to. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so over here, yeah, we're in the, I'll make sure I'm in the right district. So over here, you have these daily reports. I'm going to go there first and share that. Some of you had questions about your club officers. Okay, we submit club officers in July, and then you have some that are submitted in Jan. See from here, if your clubs have submitted their club officer list. And you can scroll down to the bottom and see very easily those clubs who have not. You see here, it says the list is not here. And you can see these clubs over here. The semi-annual, those are the clubs that submit their officer list. I've done in the past when I was PQD is I asked them to do that, to go ahead and have their elections early so that when they go to training, the new club officers are the ones that are going to training. So, okay, I didn't show you how I got here, but this is where I wanted to go for the additional reports. You can see here, area 15, it breaks it down and it tells you what's needed district. I'm just trying to maneuver my screen here. Okay, so when you go here, District 77, what do we need to do to be successful? And you can see here, we've got our divisions over your division, area A11 area director. You see how you can go to these, each of these, and see what it is that need to be done. So to get to this location, we go back to here, and it's under additional reports. You have to go to District 77, additional reports. Once you click in here, your screen looks like this. And once again, you have to go down to District 77. And eventually, around December, January timeframe, what I used to do is send out those clubs that are almost distinguished. This is the 1 or 2 more members, or you need 1 or 2 more educational goals. But it's broken down and it describes for you very, very clearly what's needed to happen in your particular area in order for that area to be, or division to be distinguished, select distinguished, or president's distinguished. Any questions about that?
There is a lot of information in those reports that Wanda's showing you. You have access to that whether you're logged into Toastmasters International or not.
Absolutely.
You can get to those areas without ever logging in. And I encourage you to take a look at that. And if you have questions, come back to us and let us answer those questions if it's not self-explanatory. A lot of it is just you getting the information. And that's where that it's consolidated. It's very useful, especially when you're looking at the club's health or what they need or what they are missing. And I've actually trained my club officers and my personal club on how to get to all that so they can see where our club is at.
This is James. I've got two more. If you have a club that's an annual club, I assume the answer is they need to be trained in December, January as well. Is that correct?
Yes. Correct. The club officers get trained twice a year, regardless of if it's semi-annual or annual.
Okay. And then the other question is the club success plan that's due next or a week from Thursday. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
August 31st.
And if a club, what happens?
The club success plan is more for them to get a guideline for their upcoming year and to see where they're at and to help them to figure out what they can do to become a distinguished club, but a stronger club. So that's really what that success plan is for. And it helps us also to roll it up into the division success plan and the district success plans, because short-term and long-range planning, we utilize that information to see how we can help the club. Because if the clubs are not there, we don't have a district. And we've struggled over the last couple of years. And I think you guys are aware of that. And COVID kind of hurt us too. So we're definitely.
I guess how to encourage a club if they don't want to.
Find out why they don't want to do a success plan. You know, if you've got one that is very adamant about not doing it, find definitely tools in there to help them strengthen their club or to find out where their weakness is at or where their strengths are at and to utilize the strengths and mitigate the weaknesses.
And one thing I want to also mention, James, is this is all about, we talk about being successful, being distinguished, selected distinguished or president's distinguished, but don't forget now, we do all of this to benefit our members. It's about the member experience. So research that a little bit, you know, and for your district officers, tell them that you're there to help them so that they can go in turn and help their members. If your members are happy, they come back, they renew, and you grow, and it's a success. When the division is successful and the district is successful. So it's just like when your members do their speeches and earn their first, or second level, that's helping the club. And we're here to just help one another. It's about making the member experience more positive. Someone, James, you asked, how do you coach them? And you have to, I say this, you have to kind of find out the person. We don't share with you how do you get started with this? And it's something that I'm here to help you through. It's not something that you're saying, okay, go over there and do it and, come back and submit it to us. You want to make it personal. The club success plan should have names, one to spell goals, and I have to sign up for speeches, attend meetings, sign up for speeches in order to make that happen.
Yeah, and if they have a reason why, maybe they can share it with you and we can figure out how to help them. Maybe they feel like it's just a check the box kind of thing, but that's not the way I view the success plan at club level, at area level, at division level, or at district level. I see it as a tool to utilize to help the clubs to get better.
Okay, they seem to, just on the surface, they just seem to be half into it. And that's why I'm asking. So I need to get with them a little bit more on that.
And probably their members are only half into it as well.
Yes, we're having trouble right now with our corporate clubs district-wide. And let me tell you, that's not just District 77, that's other districts as well. Right. Some of our candidates have brought that to our attention. And I just recently found out there's a department, the corporate clubs, and I plan to reach out to them because I know we have the Wind Creeks North and South, and we have Coastal Electric. We have other corporate clubs that I need to put in. Can you help us reach out to salvage these clubs? Reimburse. Well, if the corporate club did not renew for the spring, say the end of March or April this year, then come October, usually they have to pay an additional fee. So there's some discussion, do we hold them to that, or do we, because we want to keep them, as clubs in our district out that the candidates are cognizant of, and those are things that they're taking to the board.
Brandon, I see your request for the information about the corporate clubs, and Wanda, I guess maybe we can work with the division and area directors where these corporate clubs are struggling and get them in the loop when we contact TI so that they're aware of it as well. Tracy, did you have a question?
It's not a question, but it's just a comment about the trainings that we do. I go because I know I want to go to get our half a point for the club, but I'm always leery because sometimes we've got those slides and sitting here. I'm sitting there to check the box, but I'm not being trained. So like somebody had mentioned, the person's done it for a year and they don't feel the need to go. They're not all like that by any means, but just to sit there and go, I could do these slides at home.
And I appreciate that, and I will take that under consideration along with the survey that I have done. I am definitely looking for our next set of training to do some training for the people that are doing the training. I want to make it where the officers get the information as well as are engaged and they're learning. So I definitely appreciate that, and I am listening to all the comments and taking that into consideration and trying to make it better. I completely.
Ron, there was a
All
question
right.
about the club success plan.
Yeah, we responded, Ron and I both responded to that. So the club success plans can be sent to your division directors or your area directors if that's how you want to handle that. And then you guys can send them to us so that we can also have a copy and utilize them to roll into our success plan for the district. So if you have further questions after that and you need to reach out to us via email, feel free to call me, text me, group me, however you need to get in touch with me. I will respond back to you. Is there anything else? I want to respect everyone's time, and I want Gaten to be safe while he's driving.
I'm sorry I had to work. I'm sorry, and I had to do some interviews this morning. But I do want to make a comment about that training that someone said that when they go, they're feeling like they can do it at home or something like that. Is that she went to one of the trainings and they didn't hit on the actual information that they're going to need to do their job. They just kind of went over the Toastmaster, the cookie cutter slide, but not what actually goes on in the club.
Okay, I will definitely keep all this in my thoughts as we're working toward our next club officer training. And please let your club know we are working to improve the quality of the training so that they get what they need for their offices. And I welcome any kind of comments or feedback. The survey has shed some light on several things, and we will be working to correct some things and improve it, make it better for the club and the officers that are being trained. And if you guys in your divisions and in your areas have some stellar pathway districts to help us with pathways, we still have some clubs that are struggling with it and have a lot of questions and need support. And I want to get them all the support that we can. And if you have people and members that are very good with Pathways, very excited about it, I want to know who they are so that I can hopefully get them to help me with it. We covered a lot of information today, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your Saturday morning to do that. Our next training will be on a Friday night. I'm trying to move it around so that different people can attend the area director and division director training. And I know there's not going to be a one good day and time for everyone, but if you have questions in between the trio, and we will get those taken care of in a timely manner.
Monica, can I add one more thing?
Sure.
For the area directors and the division directors, as you're planning your year, I would kind of encourage you to go look at the area director of the year and the division director of the year. They give you a lot of tools that you can look at for ways to grow your area or your division. And take a moment to look at that. It was really helpful when I was the area director to give me some direction on where to go.
Where is that?
If you Google area director of the year or division director, actually it's on the website right now.
Okay, thanks.
For the nomination.
Are you talking about the Toastmaster website or Google?
It's on District 77's website.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, Monica, where will we post? Where you plan on posting this video for today for those area directors and division directors who couldn't be in attendance?
Jessica, I believe we have an area on the website where we can post division and area director information, correct?
Working on it. Yes.
Okay.
It'll be up in the next day or two.
It will be posted out there. We'll post it out there, Wanda, and then if they want it before we get it posted, I can send it to them.
Excellent.
Separately.
Thank you.
I should be able to have it up by the end of the day.
Okay, thank you. All right, does anybody have anything else before we adjourn for today, and you can have the rest of your day back? Thank you again for attending, and I look forward to working with you this year to help your clubs grow and help you grow. Everybody have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Monica?
Yeah.
What all do you want on that website? You want the area visit report and links to the area director stuff on the Toastmasters website? Is there anything else you want on there?
The direct message.
Because I can put direct links to some of the stuff they have separated on their TI website for area directors and division directors. Let me take a look at it and get back to you. Okay. Just let me know.
Okay. Thank you, Jessica.
Yep.
Where's the baby?
Oh, I was actually putting him down for nap.
Oh.
That's why my camera was off. Yeah, because it was right at his nap time. you were right. I forgot to attach that spreadsheet. So do you want me just to resend the same email? Do you want me to summarize the email and send it out? Or how do you want me to do it? Because I can put a little blurb with spreadsheet or something.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, just update it, just make a note about it and then attach it. And then next time I have an attachment, I'll try to remember to tell you in it to make
well,
sure
yeah,
to
and
send the
because
attachment.
I didn't read through the whole
apologize.
thing until it was sent, and I'm like, oh, there was an attachment, and my screen didn't show the attachment, so I didn't see that it was actually attached.
Yeah,
I guess I should
I've had
read a little
several reach
bit
out and I said, okay,
closer.
we'll take care of it. And I just hadn't circled back around
All
to
right,
it yet.
no problem. I'll get it
busy.
fixed. All right,
All right.
have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day. You too. Bye.